for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K, 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 S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K, 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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. With Tony Marinaro.
55 seconds left in the penalty, a minute and 27 seconds left in regulation time. Boston 4, Montreal 3. Lafleur coming out rather gingerly on the right side. He gives it into Lemaire, back to Lafleur.
The sickest Montreal Canadiens podcast.
You're in the ball!
Sports entertainment like no other.
Rejoint, on lui fait perdre la rondelle, une passe devant. Et c'est le dégagement, et ce sera la victoire des Canadiens. Condamné pour les Canadiens, leur 23e de l'histoire.
You found the dogs! John, you found the dogs! He found the dogs! And all together, they worked a young team to the top. And now, a 24th Stanley Cup banner will hang from the rafters of the famous Forum in Montreal. The Canadiens win the Stanley Cup!
Brought to you by Energy Transportation Group. Driven to be different. La Vida Tibi. Embrace your true nature. And Playground, your premier gaming destination. It's gonna be sick.
Marinaro, the Sick Podcast on this Tuesday, August 19th. Thanks for watching on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitter. Very, very much appreciated. Earlier today at noon precisely, USA Hockey put out a tweet naming 44 players that are going to take part in their 2026 USA Olympic Orientation Camp, which is going to take place on the 26th and 27th of August in Plymouth, Michigan. Let's rewind here if we can. Let's go back first. I put out a tweet and a video telling you that I had it on good information that Lane Hutson, here we are, Sick Podcast, hearing that Canadiens defenseman Lane Hutson will not be on the list for USA Hockey Orientation Camp, which will take place later this month for 2026 Olympics. And once again, 18 days later, earlier today at noon, USA Hockey made it official. They put out their list of 44 players, 16 of which are defensemen. 16. 3 or 4 days ago, or last week, the NHL Network put out a list of, in their opinion, the top 20 defensemen in the National Hockey League. They had Lane Hutson 19 on their list. Brian Wilde joined me for a podcast. I think Brian had Lane Hutson like 13 or 14 on his list. And today, USA Hockey puts out a list of 16 American defensemen invited to orientation camp, and Lane Hutson's not there? Are they going to tell me there are 16 American defensemen better than Lane Hutson? Brian Wilde joins me again for Global TV Montreal. Brian, what's going on?
I have no idea. I can't believe it. I mean, the only reason I believe it is that you tweeted it out August 1st, or I would have been in absolute shock today. You saved me a great shock. And I looked at the list of 16 names. Jackson Lacombe is on that. Jackson Lacombe, isn't that a place in Wyoming? And Alex Vlasic, he's so unknown he hasn't even earned the nickname Pickle yet. I don't understand this at all. It's crazy. The Calder winner, the guy in the playoffs that at 25 minutes is the best Montreal Canadian. They're trying to suggest he's too small, obviously, right? Well, the Washington Capitals had only one thing in mind, and it was to intimidate him and everybody else on the team with the most physical play they could muster. And it did not deter Lane Hutson. And the Olympics will be wide open compared to what the Washington Capitals wanted to do to Lane Hutson. That would be the type of hockey he would be best at. Not the 17th ranked defenseman for America.
The good news today for a Montreal Canadiens player is that Cole Caufield is on that list. You see him there. He is one of the forwards. But once again, we want to talk about Lane Hutson if we can for now. Brian, we have the list up of the 44 players. But for those who are going to be listening on Spotify or Google or Apple or any other social media platform, we want to read out the names for them so they can understand. Brock Faber, Adam Fox, Noah Hannafin, Luke Hughes, Charlie McAvoy, Jackson Lacombe, Seth Jones, Quinn Hughes, Ryan McDonough, Brett Pesci, Neil Pionk, Jake Sanderson, Brady Shea, Jacob Slavin, Alex Vlasic, and Zach Werenski. 16 defensemen. Now, look, let's put the cards on the table here, okay? All these defensemen, they have something. Some of them have more than something. They have almost everything. And some of them are obviously deserving to be on this list. I got no problem with Brock Faber being on the list. I obviously got no problem with Quinn Hughes being on the list, or Jacob Slavin being on the list, or Zach Werenski being on the list, or Charlie McAvoy being on the list. These are very good defensemen. Now, we can have a debate with some of the names, but let's be honest here. There is no reason on earth that Ryan McDonagh, at this stage of his career, who's known his better days, should be on this list before Lane Hutson. With all due respect to Brady Shea and Brett Pesce and Alex Vlasic, to name a few, they're not in Lane Hutson's category. And some are anti-Montreal Canadiens fans, and some are anti-Lane for whatever reason that I'll never understand. And you can tell me that, you know, they already have a profile similar, which is Hughes, and two would be too many of the on a team. That's besides the point. The point here is players that were invited to be part of the orientation camp. You can end up having a debate whether or not Lane Hutson should be on the U.S. Olympic team. I don't see how there's a debate that he can't be on the list at orientation camp. 16 defensemen, including, once again, Ryan McDonagh, Brett Pesce, Brady Shea, Alex Vlasic, and I'm going to stop there. The others, I think, are you know, you can form a debate if you want. You talked about Jackson Lacombe. He came on really strong in the second half of the season last year and stuff like that. Good player on the power play, but once again, not in Lane Hutson's league. I don't get it, Brian. Someone's going to have to explain it to me because I just don't get it. Like Pierre Maguire, in a previous podcast going back a couple of months, told me that Lane Hutson will be on the U.S. Olympic team. It was during the season. He said, Tony, you'll see Lane Hutson's going to be on the U.S. Olympic team next season, right? He's not even invited to orientation camp. We find this out in the third week of August. Is this a joke, Brian? Is this a joke?
You know, I think overall, the Montreal Canadiens have not gotten a lot of respect. And the reason is they made a very meteoric rise up the standings at the end of the year. And I think that the National Hockey League is still catching up to what the Montreal Canadiens did to make the playoffs and how well they acquitted themselves in the playoffs themselves. I think that the brass that picks teams, Canadian team, American team, I think they look at the Canadiens as still a team that was 29th or 30th in the league and couldn't have much talent on it. That's the only thing I can come up with, that a lack of overall respect for what Martin St. Louis has done here. Because Lane Hutson was the best Canadiens defender, not only in the regular season, but also in the playoffs when the play got a lot more violent and he did not back down. Now, if the American brass wants to say something to the effect of when the going got tough, he disappeared, I'm okay with that. He did not disappear. He was the top ice getter in the playoffs, and he was the top player for the Canadiens, along with Nick Suzuki in the playoffs. He did not disappear. He rose to the occasion, Tony. So where is the punishment beyond that they don't like he's not 6 feet or 6'1"?
He was better than Suzuki in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, I wanted to give Nick a little bit of it.
Well, you can if you want to. I don't have a problem with that. He, along with Mike Matheson, had more time on ice than any Montreal Canadiens players in the playoffs. 2250, if memory serves me well. He was the leading point getter for Montreal Canadiens players with 5 points in the playoffs in 5 games. And yes, he got rocked from time to time. It was the Washington Capitals' game plan to try and hammer the Canadian smaller players as much as possible. Like you mentioned, Hutson kept on getting up. Hutson kept on fighting back. I mean, look, there's got to be more to this story. There has to be. Like if you were on whatever, you were in Mars or Jupiter or whatever, and you didn't watch a game of hockey, and you come back down to earth at the end of the regular season, and you just say, hey, can you bring me up the stats of NHL defensemen? bring me up the goal totals, the assist totals, the points totals, the time on ice totals, and then bring me up a bunch of advanced stats. You're going to notice that Lane Hutson finished 7th in scoring, that Lane Hutson tied an NHL record that was going on since 1981 for most assists by a rookie defenseman, tying the great Larry Murphy, that Lane Hutson had more assists than any player on the Montreal Canadiens during the regular season, that Lane Hutson had the 3rd most amount of points by any player on the Montreal Canadiens during the regular season, that Lane Hutson had the most ice time of any Montreal Canadiens player in the playoffs, that Lane Hutson had more points than any Montreal Canadiens player in the playoffs, that Lane Hutson during the regular season was probably in the top 5 to top 10 of about 7 or 8 different advanced stats categories for defensemen. And in the one that you would have thought that he would absolutely get killed in terms of puck battles won by an NHL defenseman, he actually finished 32nd, if memory serves me well, of about 250 defensemen that played in the National Hockey League this season. And that's the stat that he should be at his most disadvantage. I don't get it, Ryan. Yeah. I don't get it. Like, I think Lane Hutson is a top 15 defenseman in the National Hockey League. That's my opinion. I don't understand how he can't be in the top 16 for USA.
Tony, let's play a little simulation, okay?
Yeah.
I'm the reporter, and you're the American brass that has made the decision. And here's the reporter's question to you. Excuse me, Brian Wilde from the Sick Podcast. Sir, what would Lane Hutson have had to do with his first pro season and his first playoff season? What would he have had to do for you to have chosen him beyond what he did? Your answer, sir?
Well, Lane obviously had a fantastic season, and we saw a lot of talent. The Olympics are obviously a very important tournament where experience is key, and Lane will get his opportunity at one point. We're certain of that.
So it was an age factor then, sir?
I would say it would be age coupled with experience and coupled with the kind of team that we're putting together, specifically with certain player profiles as per the request of, as per the coaching staff and the management team.
Right. Can we get an answer then on the other 21-year-olds that were chosen, if it was an age consideration, sir?
I would rather not answer that question at this time. Brian, first of all, you could tell that you're a very shrewd reporter and you have over 30 plus years experience, because your questions were the questions to ask. And when you start asking the questions, and by the way, I'd love to hear the management team questioned about this, because Brian, it's bullshit. Brian, yeah. But it is though. You just said it, right? If you choose not to bring young defensemen, don't bring young defensemen.
Right.
Right. So, like, what are they going to say? They're going to say he's small. When does a player's size have anything to do with whether or not they're great? Cole Caufield's small. They brought Cole Caufield.
That's what I was going to say. I was waiting for you, sir. Sir, I was waiting for you to say size, and then I was going to ask you then why Cole Caufield.
They don't have any answers, Brian.
They don't. It's illogical. It's illogical. I'm sure they can't come up with one if you were to press them on this. But I did enjoy the start of your answer talking about the Olympics as a big tournament. It was good.
How do you think Gordon and Hughes feel about this?
Oh, I don't think they're happy at all. Unless all they're thinking about is contract, but they would never think that way. That's not how they think.
Well, you just said something interesting, right?
Okay.
Jeff Gordon and Kent Hughes, they're good people, right? Obviously, they would not want any of their players to be disappointed. I'm sure that they would want their
That's
players.
What I think.
I'm sure they would want their players playing at the highest level so that they can become better players and they can push themselves to a level that they've never probably pushed themselves before. Having said that, in the middle of a contract negotiation here, this is a card that I'm sure that they're going to play.
You think so, huh?
Listen, I'm not a hockey agent, nor do I pretend to be qualified to be one, but I would imagine that if at one point the going gets tough in the negotiations, they're going to say, hey, listen, he wasn't even invited to the USA orientation camp. They chose 16 defensemen ahead of him. Just like Brian, just like if he was chosen, I would imagine his camp would say, hey, guys, you're going to have to pay up, man. He was even invited to the orientation camp, right? Or, guys, you're going to have to pay up. He made the Olympic team.
I always wonder in negotiations, though, Tony, if there really is an upside to that type of criticism, because feelings can get hurt. I remember back in the day, I can't tell you the exact player, but there was a negotiation and became fairly public. And then in the end, the player really got insulted and he felt less like he wanted to play for the team that he thought he wanted to play for. I don't know how it goes. I'm not going to pretend I do, but I do know when Marc Bergevin back in the day says something like, if you want loyalty, get a dog. I'm pretty sure that, doesn't go around the locker room as a cute little jab. I think it goes around the locker room like, that bastard. Don't you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I've never been a part of a locker room in that respect. So I don't know. I don't know what they think. I really don't. The Sick Podcast is brought to you in part by Bittt Tibi. They launched their new Ultra Lager, refreshing, thirst-quenching beer, perfect for the summer with only 90 calories, 2 grams of carbs, 4% ABV per can, available in a pack of 6 and 12 in grocery stores all around the province of Quebec. It's ultra light and ultra refreshing. It's also brought to you in part by Playground. Listen to this. Hungry for a deal? Eat well at Playground without breaking the bank. Mondays, sink your teeth into a juicy 12-ounce ribeye steak with all the fixings for just $19. Tuesdays, dive into an all-you-can-eat Asian experience for only $25. Wednesdays, savor a 6-ounce bacon-wrapped filet mignon with dessert for just $30. Thursdays, lobster surf and turf, only $22. And Fridays at lunch, get any sandwich, burger, main, pizza, or main for just $7. Delicious. It's outrageous. Visit playground.ca for details. All right, okay. Let's get back to the list. Why don't we bring the list back up? Brock Faber, Adam Fox, Noah Hannafin, Luke Hughes, Charlie McAvoy, Jackson Lacombe, Seth Jones, Quinn Hughes, Ryan McDonough, Brett Pesci, Neil Pionk, Jake Sanderson, Brady Shea, Jacob Slavin, Alex Vlasic, and Zach Werenski. I said to you, I said, there's no reason why at this stage of his career, Ryan McDonough should be on this list, Brett Pesci on this list, Brady Shea on this list, and Alex Vlasic on this list before Lane Hutson. All right. I know a lot of Ottawa Senators fans are listening and watching, and for whatever, they like to play the whole, our guy is better than your guy. If I were to tell you right now, you're the GM of the Montreal Canadiens, you can trade Lane Hutson in return, you can have Jake Sanderson. Would you do the deal?
No, of course not. I wouldn't do that deal.
Of course you wouldn't. So Senators fans, say whatever you want, right? I don't know of anyone who would trade Lane Hutson for Jake Sanderson. Jake Sanderson's a good player.
Yeah, he's good. I like him. Don't get me wrong. I like him.
Lane Hutson's a phenomenal talent. That's the difference.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal talent. It's too bad. But, I don't know. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but I'm wondering if, we've seen this before, right, Brian, that politics for whatever reason plays a part. I don't know what the politics could be here in this case. It's just that for me, it's so logical that Lane Hutson is on the list that by him not being on the list, I'm thinking conspiracy, I'm thinking scandal, I'm thinking politics. I don't know what else to think. It can't be that everyone in that room is incompetent. You and I here doing a podcast, we're smart. It's impossible.
And from a politics point of view, sometimes they'll punish somebody who, hasn't gone to the events before or has denied America or denied Canada of his services because he said he wanted to rest or he had a wedding or his knee wasn't right or whatever. But, for the United States already as a world junior, Lane Hutson played for them in the under-20s, and he was on in the gold medal game when they won the World Junior Gold. He was on half the game. He was their most important player when they won the gold medal at the last World Juniors, was Lane Hutson. So you can't say that through the ranks he just didn't show up or he wasn't good for America. He was their best defenseman for them to win that gold medal. And they relying on him didn't stop them from succeeding. He led them to the ultimate prize. So there can't be any politics there. He's always shown up for them. He shows up all the time. You can't, like as the players keep saying, we're trying to get him to not go to the ice rink. And he refuses. And he's always going first on, last off, day off, no, still going out. So there can't be any politics. I can only think of one thing, and that's size. But even then, it's not like he's, we keep talking about size like he's 5'7" Cole Caufield. He's turned into a 5'10" guy. He's not short anymore. No. When he got drafted, he grew 2 inches. He was right. He sent a letter to teams saying, my doctor says I'm going to grow and I haven't finished my spurt. And he was right. He grew 2 inches. It's not like he's tiny, tiny, tiny. He's slight. When I look at him in the locker room, I see a guy who will, at 23, 24, 25, probably gain another 10 to 15 pounds. That will make him an even more successful player. So he's a bit slight, but he's not Cole. Like, this is Cole and there's difference between the two. So if they were ultimately really afraid of height, I don't know how Cole made it, because he's short.
He was part of the U.S. national development team as a 17 and an 18-year-old. Seamus Casey and Luke Hughes were part of that team, just to name a couple on defense. Mm-hmm. When all three of them were 18 years old, Lane Hutson was far and away better, unless I just totally forgot what I'm talking about and I have no idea. And then he leaves the U.S. national development team and he makes his way to Boston University for 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. He puts up 48 points in 39 games in the first season. He puts up 49 points in 38 games in the second season. Anyone that played with him or against him would said, this guy's not only the best defenseman in the league, he's probably one of the best players. Macklin Celebrini said that he's never played with a talent like that. Patrick Laine with the Montreal Canadiens said that he's never played with a player that, thought the game that way. This obviously he's got a computer chip in his brain that the way he processes information. Caden Gooley said something that he overheard when he hears Lane Hutson and Marty St. Louis talking hockey. He gets lost because it's just the things that they say. It's like he can't read the game that way.
Oh, I never heard that before.
Yeah.
Cool. That's very cool.
He plays his rookie season with the Canadiens and gets 66 points in 82 games. He gets 5 points in 5 playoff games. Once again, he's their top assist guy. He's their leading point getter in the playoffs. He's their third leading point getter in the regular season. I don't understand. You talked about USA Hockey. He was under their microscope. The U.S. national development team for 2 years and Boston University for a couple of seasons. I mean, they must have watched him all the time.
Yeah. And he did absolutely everything that you could have ever asked for him. He couldn't have, did they not like the 660 balance on his goals versus assists? Did they think it should have been more? I just can't even, my brain I can't wrap my head around it.
I'd love to know if they pick up the phone and ask Marty St. Louis his opinion. Because from afar, I think Marty St. Louis is the president of the Lane Hutson fan club. I don't know whether he is or he isn't, but we're talking about a guy that after a couple of learning moments, put him back out there on the ice every single time. Yeah. We're talking about a guy who never tried to change the way Lane Hutson plays. If you're a member of USA Hockey and you pick up the phone and you talk to Marty St. Louis about Lane Hutson, you're telling me that Lane Hutson is not going to be on the list? I don't understand. I don't get it. I really don't.
Just look at the ice time, too. If you look at those 16 defensemen that were chosen and look at the ice time of Lane Hutson, even you can add the playoff ice time to it. I mean, in many cases, the defenseman on there isn't even a first pair defenseman on their own team instead of 25 minutes per game. and relied on in every circumstance, and even in the plus minus, if somebody wants to look at the plus minus, I looked at some of them, and some of them are on bad teams naturally, so their plus minus is -20. But Lane really cleaned up his plus minus, and don't forget that he was on for 17 empty net goals against. So that's obviously a great impact on your plus minus. So I'm looking for a statistic that is not in his favor. I'm looking for anything that's not in his favor, and even the one obvious that we keep coming back to in terms of height doesn't really hold water in terms of all of the defensemen that were chosen. And you mentioned experience. That doesn't hold water. There's some young defensemen that were chosen. Cole Caufield was chosen in terms of size. It's just, if they could have shown us that they had a problem in one area, then you would say, oh, okay, that's the problem they had. It was in that one area. But the choices are so all over the board, you can't find the one area that they had a problem with that meant that Lane was in that category. Yeah. So I can't come up with anything at all.
Yeah, you just mentioned something,
but it's going to motivate him, Tony.
Yeah,
and that's not going to hurt the Montreal Canadiens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this kid lives, breathes everything hockey, right? But he just got a chip on his shoulder right there. It just arrived. If it had left because he won the Calder, it came back. And the kid's been motivated his whole life. They told him he was never going to amount to anything because look at you, you're way too small. You're not going to make the NHL. You're not going to be a first-round draft choice. They're going to bypass you to 62nd. And the Canadiens are going to take you, but only the fourth chance they get. And then you do what you do and you lose your chip. You go, finally, some recognition. And then it just arrives back on. And Canadiens fans are going to love that. And Martin St. Louis is probably not going to be that upset about it either because the kid's going to come in hungry once again.
You just said something, and I said, you know what? That's a good thing. I need to look at that. I need to look at time on ice for NHL defensemen. And the player who led this year for time on ice for NHL defensemen, you know what that would be? It's Zach Werenski.
Yes.
26-44. By the way, Mike Matheson ranked 7th in the NHL last season.
Can you give me the top 10 if you're looking at it?
Yeah. Zach Werenski, 26-44. Quinn Hughes, 25-43. Cale Makar, 25-42. Brock Faber, 25-31. Miro Heiskanen, 25-09. Sergachev, 25-07. Matheson, 25-04. Moritz Seider, the same thing, 25-04. Roman Josi, 25-01. And Seth Jones, 24-38. But now
Four Americans so far.
Yeah, so I want to do this. So Sanderson, by the way, is up there. He's got 24-26. Jake Sanderson does. So I want to take a look at the Charlie McAvoy for a U.S. defenseman. Charlie McAvoy at 23-40. John Carlson, who's not on the list, at 23-33.
That's a big snub too, eh? And Brock Besser was a big snub too.
Yeah.
Keep going, sir.
Alex Vlasic, surprisingly, was Chicago at 23-15. So he's up there. Adam Fox at 23-14. Justin Falk, Michael Anderson are a couple of American defensemen. Jackson Lacombe at 22-18. He had his share of minutes. See? Pionk had 22-03. Keandre Miller had 21-56. Brady Shea had 21-53. Jacob Slavin had 21-34. Noah Hannafin at 21-33.
Did you do Adam Fox yet?
Yeah, I did. Brett Pesci had 21-19. Luke Hughes at 21-09. Ryan McDonough had 20 minutes and 22 seconds. So Ryan McDonough had 20 minutes and 22 seconds.
That seems to be, if you said to replace one, I feel like you think it should have been Ryan McDonough listening to you.
Yes. I don't think at this stage of his career, no, I wouldn't put him there.
He's 37 years of age.
He's a good defenseman, but I mean, let's be honest here. Come on.
You say, come on.
I mean, let's be honest here. I want to see. Let me see. Ian Cole is not there. Nick Jensen is not there for the U.S. Matt Roy is not there. Ryan Lindgren's not there.
No one's going to argue they're not deep. They're deep.
Shane Gostisbehere is not there.
They got a lot of talent. They're deep.
Yeah.
But the rookie of the year, 25-minute man, 5 points in the playoffs, top ice, amazing on the power play, makes everybody look amazing on the power play. And I love the moment that you mentioned the giveaways and puck battles. I mean, here's a guy you don't expect to do well at puck battles at all, and he's upper echelon. That's fantastic.
I'm trying to see. I just passed it, I think, but Lane Hutson's time on ice in the regular season.
He started a little bit lower, and then at one point he was getting 28 minutes a game, and they had to drop that back.
Yes,
because it was getting a little ridiculous. But they needed wins, so he was the go-to guy, and he was fatiguing before the Olympics, before the Four Nations. That was a well-timed break because he took that 2 weeks and he ran with it. He came back and he didn't have a down game after Four Nations, not one.
Why don't we do this so I don't spend all day looking for it? Shane Gaumont and Master Control, if you can find time on ice for Lane Hutson during the regular season.
Playoffs, please, Shane.
Well, playoffs, I can tell you, was 22.50.
22.50?
Yeah, on par with Mike Matheson. I'm 99% sure. I remember doing some digging. I'm 99% sure of that number. I'm pretty sure it was 22.50. And I think Shane may have. Okay, so Shane's working on it. In the meantime, Cole Caufield being on the list. We'll talk about him in just a second, but not before I talk to you about Betway. Go all the way to Betway, get a free bet up to $200. First bet loses. Scan the QR code on the screen. Click on the link in detail section. Create an account. Redeem your welcome offer. Offers only available for new customers. Terms and conditions apply. Offers not available in Ontario. Must be 18 years of age and older. And please play responsibly. All right. Shane has Lane Hutson's numbers, time on ice during the regular season. It's 22.43.
22.43. So that would put him around 13th.
22.43 would put him at. I'll tell you which American defenseman played more than 22.43 per game. All right. Okay. I'll tell you which one. So that would put him 41st among all NHL defensemen. Okay. Keep in mind that there's some that didn't play a lot of games, but that would make him at 41st. And the only U.S. defensemen that got more ice than that are Werenski, Hughes, Faber, Seth Jones, Jake Sanderson. That's 5. McAvoy and Carlson. That's 7.
Carlson wasn't taken.
Sam Renzel of Chicago, but he only played 9 games, would be 8. Anthony DeAngelo only played 35 games. That would be 9. Vlasic and Fox, that would be 11. So Lane Hutson, 12th among American defensemen, 41st in the league for most time on ice. Led the Montreal Canadiens in the playoffs.
32 teams, 41st overall. Yeah. So basically top on your team on any team.
And I'll take it a step further. As far as the Montreal Canadiens are concerned, in the regular season, Lane Hutson, second most time on ice for defensemen behind Mike Matheson, who had 25.04 and was on the first wave of the power play for the first month and a half of the season.
That's right.
And if you take away his time on the power play in the first month and a half of the season, take him off the first wave and put Lane on, they probably both end up averaging 24 minutes.
Yeah, they flip. Yeah,
or they flip.
Yeah.
That's it. So, mind-boggling.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of comments on social media, and Lane Hutson is trending, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, on X.
Well, I mean, we're not talking, for no reason today about this. It's a big story. It's a big snub. It's a good day for Cole Caufield. The Sick Podcast brought to you by
Energy Transportation Group, a leading full-service logistics provider serving all North America. They are driven to be different. Cole Caufield is on the list, right? We wondered why he didn't represent the United States in what was it? The
Four Nations.
The Four Nations, correct?
Yeah,
he's on the list.
Yeah, and the total was the goal total is worthy. And
37 goals.
That's a big number. You can't ignore that. That's a big number. That's a guy that knows how to put the puck in the net. And once again, tons of history at the World Juniors where he had a lot of success, just like Lane Hutson. So in this case, they chose not to ignore it. And I guess he also had a little bit of experience on his side that maybe they thought that Lane didn't have. So that's the reason, one of the reasons they chose Cole, and they completely ignored the size. And in this case, maybe they decided that a forward didn't need to carry some size as much as a defenseman needs to carry some size. Can't get in their heads there, but that might have been it.
If I can, you said something about the Four Nations. It should be said that all 23 players who represented Team USA at the Four Nations are part of the 44. Every single one. Yeah.
Yeah. So they had 21.
And now, just so everyone knows,
they succeeded. They played great.
Just so everyone knows, the list of 44, there's going to be 19 names that are going to be cut. And in the end, there will be a list of 25, which will be unveiled in January 2026 for, of course, the Olympic Games. And the Olympic tournament will start on the 11th of February 2026 and end on the 22nd. So Cole Caufield, 37 goals, 33 assists, 70 points in 82 games. Top Montreal Canadiens goal scorer, second Montreal Canadiens leading point getter in the regular season. Also second leading point getter for the Canadiens in the playoffs with 3 goals and 1 assist, 4 points in 5 games. No argument from me. Cole Caufield definitely deserves to be on that list. And you know what? If he would have been on that Four Nations team, they ended up losing in overtime. And there's one thing that he does better than 80%, 90% of players in the National Hockey League: it's score goals.
Yeah.
Who knows if he would have been on that team? Who knows?
And, when you look at Cole, too, you can't forget that he's a part of a line that also doesn't get a lot of respect. I don't think anybody, like if I would ask every other reporter of hockey around North America who was the number one line in 5-on-5 goal differential, I bet you wouldn't find one besides Tony Marinaro and whoever listens to you that would answer that the top line in the league was Nick Suzuki or Slavkowski and Cole Caufield.
Yeah.
I guarantee nobody knows that around the whole NHL. The top 5-on-5 goal differential line was that.
Brian,
same way nobody knew it when it was Philip Deneau back in the day with Gallagher and Tatar.
And I'll guarantee you one thing, that if the powers that be of USA Hockey are ever open to interviews, no one will question them the way you would have questioned them. And if there's an opportunity to be had there, I surely hope that you're going to be there or going to be able to do it at a distance if you can, because if the moderator can give you 2 or 3 questions in a row, Brian, and let you go, it's going to be something. Thanks for doing this, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Always a pleasure, Tony.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Brian Wilde of Global TV Montreal. Special thanks to our sponsors, Betway. Special thanks to Bittt TV, Playground, and Energy Transportation Group as well. We thank them very much. Thank you for watching and listening. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple. It's our way of feeling the love. It is the Sick Podcast. I'll be back tomorrow night, same time, same place. I'm Marinaro.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Tony Marinaro on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts. The Sick Podcast is brought to you by Energy Transportation Group, driven to be different. LaVie.tv, embrace your true nature. And Playground, your premier gaming destination.